you guys, I'm actually on my way to the market. It is 9:30 p.m. and the supermarket is about to close, so I have to rush. But I do have to get parsley and a few other things that I forgot to get earlier. Get straight into it. We have all of the ingredients that we need. I did go ahead and make a list before I went to the market, but I did forget a few things, as you guys can see in the last clip. But we do have parsley, black pepper, cayenne pepper, worschesire sauce. I know I'm saying that wrong, don't judge me. Garlic powder. We also have obe. You guys, obe, amazing, definitely need it. Dijon mustard, and then as you can see in the front, we have a white onion, lemon, lump crab meat. You guys, make sure it's lump. And then also 2 eggs, and in the back we have the jalapeno kettle cooked chips, mayonnaise, a mixing bowl, and then of course my wine glass, because your girl is about to pour her a glass of vino. Let's get into it. Okay, so now that I have my glass of wine, you guys, now we can officially start. Now, I know this knife is not the proper cutting knife, so I don't need anyone commenting talking about this knife. Now, I'm in the process of moving, so a lot of my stuff is boxed up, including all of my professional chef quality knives. So for the sake of this video, we're just gonna pretend that I'm not using a little steak knife to cut an onion, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna cut it fine. I'm gonna basically do a medium-sized chop. And first things first, obviously, is to peel the onion. So that's what we're gonna do. So now that we have the onion all peeled, you guys, throw away the scraps. This is like cooking 101, like basic stuff. You probably already know this. I don't have to tell you. Also, the onion additive is optional. So if you don't like onion, you can always take that ingredient out. It is not a necessity. I personally love onions. I think that it complements every single thing you make in a kitchen. I don't care if it's Mexican food, soul food, Italian food. I just feel like onion brings out the flavor of everything, and I just love it. So it is optional. Once again, if you don't like it, take it out. So as you guys can see, I basically cut it into 3 slices. The slices were pretty thick. They're not super thin, and that's basically what I'm going for, because I want once I chop it, I want the onion to add a nice crunch to the crab cake. So that's your preference if you guys want to do a thin slice or a thick slice, and the remainder you just wrap up and put in the refrigerator. Once again, this is not the right knife, so I'm just going to try to cut it the best way I know how, and try not to cut myself. So now that we have the onion all chopped up, we're gonna just put it in a bowl. The bowl is basically gonna be on the side because we're not gonna add it yet, but we're just gonna have it ready so that when we are ready to add it, we can just throw it right in the bowl. And I am gonna put plastic wrap over this bowl because you guys, you have to cover your food. I don't care if you're in the house by yourself. I don't care if you're in the house with 10 people, 20 people. You need to cover your food, like, period. Now we have all of the crab meat out of the container. You're just gonna place it into a bowl, and in a separate bowl, you're gonna take the Kettle cooked jalapeno chips, and what you're gonna do is take a wooden spoon or whatever spoon you choose, and just, you know, you have to smash it up, and it gets really messy, so you have to be careful. You have to be not too crazy with it, because I did make a little mess when I was just banging it really hard. But if you have a good technique, which is maybe put your hand over it so it's not flying everywhere, that does help. So you just basically chop it up really fine, and then you're gonna add that to the crab meat. Now you guys, obviously that is not enough, so you're gonna have to get more chips and repeat the process. Now, as you can see, that's enough of Kettle cooked chips. So it's a good ratio. Now we're gonna add the onions, and we're gonna basically combine all of the 3 main ingredients together: the crab meat, the Kettle cooked chips, and then the onion. Now we have the seasonings already laid out for us. So what I'm gonna do is freestyle it, but I will give you the measurements. So you're gonna take a tablespoon of garlic powder, and you're gonna sprinkle that into the mixture. And you guys, don't be messy with it, because I was really like just flinging it everywhere. I was pulling the Paris Hilton, basically seasoning the whole entire kitchen. You don't need to do that. Then you're gonna take cayenne pepper. Now this is optional. If you don't like spice, don't add it, but I'm an island girl, so I do love a little spice. So I'm gonna do a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Then I'm gonna take obey, which is also a little spicy, but it's a staple when it comes to Maryland crabs. You guys, you have to add obey. If you don't like obey, I don't know what you're doing with your lives, okay? So you're gonna add a tablespoon of obey, and honestly, I added a little more, so I'm gonna say a tablespoon and a half of obey. And it has a lot of sodium, so be careful. Then I'm gonna take parsley, and then I'm gonna add a tablespoon of parsley. And you guys, parsley makes everything taste so good. I don't know what it is. I use it on every single thing, and it makes the dish. It, you know, elevates the dish to, I can't even describe it. It's just amazing. That and basil are my 2 favorite, like, you know, natural ingredients. Then I'm gonna take black pepper, and then I'm gonna add about a few twists to it. I don't know how to really measure this one out. I would say a teaspoon, maybe. A teaspoon of black pepper. I personally did 9 twists. So if you guys have that type of pepper shaker, then go for it. Then for the Dijon mustard, I added 2 teaspoons, let's just say a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. And for this sauce, I'm not gonna play myself and try to pronounce it because I still don't know how to pronounce it. I have to Google it. But I'm gonna add a teaspoon of this. actually, I lied, you guys. A tablespoon, I'm sorry. So all the ingredients will be in the description box. So I know I'm like all over the place right now describing it. So don't listen to me. Just look at the description box. That would be more helpful. And then you're going to just take all of the ingredients and mix it together. You guys, I did add mayo, but I cut a part out, and the part that I accidentally cut out had the mayo in it. So you're going to add 2 tablespoons of mayo. And this is what the mixture looks like once you're all finished. And then you're gonna basically, that's me sipping more wine, but then you're gonna basically pat out the crab cakes. So I mixed it up a little more just to make sure all of the ingredients were thoroughly throughout the entire dish. And then I set the oven to, I would say, like a little above medium. And then I put a little olive oil in the pan. And of course, your girl had to take another sip of her wine, of her vino. And I did 4 crab cakes. I do have a little mixture left over. So I would say 1 can make about 6 or 7 crab cakes. And you guys, you need to cook them for 3 to 5 minutes on both sides. And then this is the finished product, and it was amazing, okay? When I tell you it was amazing, it was amazing. And of course, you have to garnish it with a little more parsley. And there you have it.
Everything go from my